You may notice that I am not in the closet kitchen, and that is because I'm in my grandma's kitchen. My grandma passed away earlier this month, and my partner and I are now living here until my mom is ready to put the house on the market. She left behind her favorite boxed wine, so I will be drinking her wine through the duration of this video. She lived here for 66 years, and she raised 3 daughters. My mom grew up in this house. This is the family home, and a lot of memories were created here. Today, I will be making my grandma's shortbread cookies. Let's get going. Here I have some softened butter. I just brought this up to room temperature. You can see it's a nice creamy consistency. You can either bring it to room temperature or microwave it just for a few seconds. You want it to be creamy like this, but not melted. To this 1 pound of butter, or 2 cups of butter, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a half of a teaspoon of salt. Let's actually get the salt in there. And a half of a teaspoon of baking powder. Cream that together. Now I'm going to add 1.5 cups of sifted icing sugar. And cream this all together until it's nice and smooth. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to add 4 cups of sifted all-purpose flour. Just 1 cup at a time. Or around 1 cup at a time. That's fine. Ugh. Cream this together. This does become a bit more challenging to mix together if you're not using an electric mixer. This is the way my grandma did it, so I'm staying true to her recipe and the way that she did it. She didn't have mixers or any of that fancy stuff. She just used a spoon, which is good enough. Mix this up by hand, at the very end here. Form it into a bit of a ball. Cover this, and I'm going to let it refrigerate for 2 hours. Turn your oven on to 300 degrees. This is an ancient oven, and I'm terrified to use it. I've used it a couple of times, and it seems to have only one setting for the most part. Just hot, and the door doesn't close, so I have a spoon here that I'll be jamming in the door to keep it closed. I have my rack placed into the middle of the oven. The writing is worn off, so I'm assuming that is 300. Looks to be correct. These cookies will bake between 13 and 15 minutes, or until the bottoms of the cookies are a nice light golden brown. I've never actually made grandma's shortbread cookies before, and I've never baked anything in the oven. I've only reheated leftover takeout so far. The dough has chilled for 2 hours, as Grandma recommends. it's really very hard. So it looks to be quite difficult to deal with. She says in the recipe to form small balls. So I'm assuming, you know, roughly an inch size ball to flatten it. And to prick with a fork twice. So prick, prick. Let's do that 11 more times. Prick, prick. Please work. I'm watching the cookies bake like a hawk because I'm terrified that the oven's going to blow up. I was trying to find the light to the oven and I just found it right now. It's actually up here. And there's two different lights. This one lights up the front display here. That's so fancy. And then the light is over here for the actual oven. I'm just watching it very closely because I don't know if the temperature is very accurate on this oven. I'm sure it will all work out. It has been 15 minutes. They look to be browned, lightly golden browned on the bottom. So I'm going to take them out. Shove that back in there. Grandma says that they become crisp in 5 minutes after out of oven. They will become crisp 5 minutes from now. So hot. They're a nice light golden brown color, but those cool. Ooh. Smaller ones. Grandma's shortbread cookies. I made the 1-inch ball size. If I had made them all the same 1-inch ball size, I would have only got around 3 dozen cookies. And then I switched over to a 1/2-inch ball size. And if I had made them all the 1/2-inch size, I would have got roughly 6 dozen cookies. She didn't write down quantity, so you can make them larger, smaller. They bake between 13 or 15 minutes or until lightly golden brown. As you can see, they're beautifully golden brown. I hope you enjoy this recipe. We'll see you again next time.